This Zhiyun C100 has not given me the black eye, but is still a really powerful light. I've been using it for last 5 weeks as a hairlight, also outside or with a window in the shot, with up to 6 stops of ND filter. I used it also as an accent or background light because it is so powerful. Here, for example, it is at 20% and it overpowered the whole scene with green tint. It also has been my hairlight here in the studio lately at 1 to 10% of power in CCT modes, but I came back with Amaranth T2C because Zhiyun C100 is a special 4-task light, which got a place in my external lighting kit. I want to have dedicated studio lights and separate kit for outside work to not disassemble the studio every time I want to shoot something outside. So C100 is in that dedicated kit. For me, it's a go-to hairlight, especially for scenarios when I have to use high values of ND, so either outdoors or with windows in the shot. I've also used it in the police stop scene from one of my previous videos. It was just outside of my car window at 50% power, and I have a 3-stop ND filter on my camera. I guess you can also use it as a key light, definitely a fill light, because its softbox area is 525 square centimeters. For full transparency, Zhiyun send this light for free and I can keep it, which I will definitely do, and maybe even buy another one. No money changed hands, they have zero input in my videos, they just asked me to use the light in few scenarios, which I did. But I want to compare it to some other lights I have or plan to buy. And since I have got a Cinepeer C100 lately, I also have the opportunity to measure the color fidelity of this light. What are the pros? It is very powerful. In CCT modes, it gives 4 times more light than Amaranth T2C, which means it is more than 2 stops brighter. Sure, Nonlight 60CL gives 1 more stop of light compared to Zhiyun C100, but it is $200 more expensive and has different form factor, and does not have built-in battery. And C100 is 7 to 12 times more powerful in HSI mode compared to T2C. Depends on the color and if barn doors are mounted. By the way, barn doors are also part of the kit. It's an ideal hairlight due to its shape and the depth of the grid, which is also included in the kit. It is like created for that sole purpose, but it can do more. It is fairly quiet. Maximum sound pressure registered is 34.5 decibels after running it for 1 hour at 100%. It has 6 pixel effects with tons of parameters you can change, 15 color/CCT effects, each highly customizable. It also has disco mode. The microphone is built in, so if there is music or someone is singing, light blink in sync with the sound. 7 modes here too. The most important pro is it has wireless control via Bluetooth and ZI Vega application, so can be mounted in hard to reach places and still easily controlled. It comes with a carrying bag, barn doors, grid, diffusion, clamp mount and a power brick. For T2C or other tube lights you have to buy the grid separately for around $50. And C100 can be powered via USB-C power delivery too. All of this for $399, and with a promo code from description you can get it for 10% off. Might be the case that for first 30 days Zhiyun will give an additional discount, so it is $360 tops. Next is not a pro, just a fact. It has 2 mounting points and additional clamp which can be mounted in different position of the light, and this mount has 2 additional threaded holes. What is kinda strange is that all mounting holes are 1/4, not 3/8, which is an unconventional choice for the light that weighs 1.7 kilograms, which is 3.7 pounds. I would recommend using a steel line anyway when mounting any light overhead. But are there any cons? It is short, so it won't work for more than one person as a headlight, but usually you need one headlight for each person anyway. The brick DC cable is short, around 140 centimeters, so a bit more than 4 feet. So the brick usually hangs on the cable, and T2C has much longer DC cable, around 10 feet, which is more than 3 meters. So I came with the solution to velcro the brick, but it is still a small health hazard on set. Two cons regarding color fidelity. First is that R9 value is quite low at all tested intensities and color temperatures. For 5600 Kelvin it's between 62 and 65, and for 3200 Kelvin it's between 73.5 and 79.5. It does not impact CRI because R9 is not taken into account, and CRI is between 92 and 93 and TLCI is 98 to 99 respectively. But CRI and TLCI are not that important because they can be cheated. What is important is TM30 and SSI. So TM30 is between 92 and 94 in terms of color fidelity and is 103 to 105 in terms of color saturation, all in CCT modes, which is not bad but not perfect either. For daylight, SSI is between 74 and 76 depending on intensity. For tungsten, SSI is a constant 84. SSI above 75 is considered good for daylight, and for tungsten, values above 80 are considered good and above 85 are great. Second con related to color is that the light has a slight magenta cast, but it can be fully eliminated in 5600 Kelvin CCT mode at every intensity using green magenta correction in the light. But I was not able to remove it completely in 3200K, especially at lower intensities. I do not want to spend 10 minutes talking about the details because it's not a key light, but it does not track any light curve if you set the values you want in the fixture. You can still get the values you want using both CCT and green magenta correction in most cases. Yet you either need $1000 spectrometer to do it, or you need to have very color sensitive eyes. But since you won't be using this light as key light, probably rather as headlight or accent light, is not that crucial in my opinion. If you need really good color fidelity, I guess Nanlite 60CL might be a better choice for an additional 50% more. Next thing might be a con for some. The battery is built in. Some time ago I didn't like the idea of separate batteries in the Amaran T2C, but now I really like it because you can change them if they are depleted. You do not need to use them at all if you have wall socket close by, and if they are degraded, you just buy a new one. So here mostly the last thing is my concern, because light is compact enough and I usually have external power on set, either wall socket on my power station, but since the battery is always connected, I'd say that recharge cycles are always counting. For me, this is now my go-to headlight or background light. It is more powerful than my Amaran P60C in the color background department, and it is like 4 times more powerful than my Amaran T2C as a headlight in CCT modes. It is also really neat as a effect light because it has plenty of them. For me, disco mode is a gimmick, but maybe it is actually useful for someone. The only competition I'm aware of is Nanlite 60CL. For 200 USD more you can get 1.3 to 1.5 additional stops of light in CCT modes and 1 to 2.5 stops in color modes. But the shape of the light is a bit different, so it is harder to control the spill and direction of the light. As always, affiliate links in the description and 10% discount code. If you use them, you help the channel to continue with such reviews. I guess the code works for other Zhiyun lights too. That's it, and cheers, mate!